If you are in the market to buy a home in the Arizona area, Scottsdale or Phoenix, either relocating within the city or coming from somewhere else, I have 7 tips, things that you should take note of as you walk the property and decide if this property is worth potentially buying. I did also have some clients that brought a checklist, which I thought was an ingenious idea in every house, because they start to run together after a while and you don't remember the specifics about the overall condition, things like their must-haves and stuff, and then they graded each one. So it can help aid you after the fact of which homes you maybe want to go and take another look at, because it does become a whirlwind after a while. So these are tips that I just picked up from various inspections. I've a lot of inspections been through, just walking houses. I tend to look real high and real low because people come in and then they just look at all the pretty stuff and I look for the ugly stuff, the good, bad, and the ugly, just because it's my job to help point out the pluses and the minuses to my clients. I feel that is my duty, so they are well informed. The HVAC drainage on the side of the house. So our furnaces in most homes here are stored in the attic. So that means that there is condensation that develops in the home and there's a drip pan up in that attic. And so there's 2 lines that come out of the side of your house. I have a whole video on that shows pictures of it, so you might want to check that one out. The lower drainage is good if there's water coming out of it. If it's coming out the top, that means that the bottom one is clogged and now it's going to its backup, and that means that you could have a potential issue if you don't get those lines cleared out. So I always look for that, make sure that there's not staining on the side of. Look for cracks in the stucco. Some hairline cracks are pretty normal here, especially on the south side of the house. But if you guys start to get big cracks where a dime can fit through, well, if a dime can fit through, then other things can fit through, and then you can get critters in your house. And it's probably time that that house is going to need to be re-stuccoed if it's not addressed. And just having a painter come in and fill them with, I don't necessarily think that's going to do it. You might want to get a stucco consultation in that if they're that big. And it could be an indication too that there's some settlement issues too. So there could be bigger issues. You might want structural engineer or something to look at it. The inspector will give you, if you end up going for that house, the inspector will look at it too and give their recommendation. I always look under the roof eaves, because under there you can see, is the paint peeling? Is it cracking? That can be indicative of that the roof might need to be replaced. Because what happens is the edges of the roof starts to dry as the roof gets older and older, and then the underlayment rolls up, and then that's how water penetrates through those eaves. And so that can be a high sign. If they haven't replaced the roof, it might be time for a new roof. Generally, roofs I think here need to be replaced 20-25 years. So a lot of the homes up in this northern part of the valley are coming to that point where they're needing roofs because they were built in the early 2000s, late 90s. Do you see any paint bubbles? Generally this will occur like near the ceiling, and I will look to see, because that also could mean that they're leaking in the roof, because that's what causes the paint to bubble, is what moisture's coming through. All right, the weep wall, that is the wall. So our homes are built on like a base, and then the house kind of sticks out from the base, and there's maybe a 5-inch horizontal area below the house, and that's how our houses breathe here, because we're framed in stucco. So sometimes when you get new landscaping rock and things like that, and people get their houses ready to sell, they might add more rock and stuff to make the yard look better, but the landscapers sometimes put it way too high and they're blocking this breathability of the home. Also, when you have rock up right out to the bottom of the house, that puts your house, keeps moisture in, and it can make your home ripe for termite. Nobody wants termites. So it could be something that's called out in your inspection, and that can just mean you have the seller do it, or it's something you're gonna take on and have to redo the grading a little bit of some of that. All right, walk around outside. Look at the condition of the cool deck. Cool deck is that surface that they put on around pools so it doesn't get hot when you get out of the pool and it's really hot in the summertime. If it's heavily chipped or cracked and things like that, that can be an expensive repair. So just keep that in mind when you're making an offer, that there might be some repairs down the line. Also, look at the Pebble Tech in the pool. A lot of these homes, Pebble Tech, I think maybe last 20 years at the most. So a lot of these homes built pools, and a lot of them are getting to the point where they need that Pebble Tech chipped out and redone. So that could be an expense coming your way. And I definitely recommend having a actual pool inspector pool and all that equipment, not your general home inspector. They don't know pools. It's not like when you need heart surgery and you call your internal medicine doctor to do your valve replacement. No, you want a cardiologist to do that, or a specialist, right? That's the same thing with an HVAC and a pool and a roof. I always have separate inspections for all those, just because they're big, expensive things to fix, and you better know what you're getting into before you sign on the dotted line. If you have any questions about this, there are more things. These are just a few that I came up with at the top of my head. So I'll have subsequent videos, so just stay tuned. If you like the content of this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and press the subscribe button. See you next time when we are dropping a video here in this year. So thanks so much for watching. I appreciate your time as always, and we'll see you next time.